not return them or anything?
Of course not. I'd be very happy to get them and hope that usually I snatch chapters here and there of something I'm trying to read, other than these things.
That I always felt I knew what his response was going to be. It was going to be an okay type response.
Did any of you ever see a situation where students were able to ruffle him, to shake him?
Yes, I saw one where he was pressed about the poor taking part in the poverty program and making their own decisions. And to this he said that he didn't believe in the poor should participate. He didn't believe that anyone who couldn't control their own lives and their own destinies should participate in administrative decision-making for programs meant to help them control their destinies. The student then pressed him and asked if he didn't believe in letting the poor learn by doing. And he said he didn't know about letting people learn by doing, especially when they couldn't control their own affairs. And then the student responded with, "But Governor, for the last 11 months, you've been learning by doing." And this stopped him for a little bit. But being, again, the word performance, being an actor, he recovered his poise quickly and went to another question.
Leonard, as the Associate Chubb Fellow, you had a chance to see the governor during his whole visit, and in the private occasions and as well as the public occasions. Now, was there any difference in his pose in private or in public?
I think the constant presence of the press, the very vivid presence with cameras and newspapermen, did make a good deal of difference and reduced him a little bit to the formula that we're used to seeing him in, to the figure of the public relations product. And with students especially, he was much more a human being who was reacting emotionally to some questions, who liked to talk about some things and didn't like to talk about other things.
What didn't he like to talk about?
Oh, he didn't like to talk about Vietnam. He several times privately to me expressed great reluctance and a real sense as if he were up against a hopeless obstacle. Because
did he say why? What he said in public was that he didn't have access to all that LBJ has access
Yes, actually he just started up on that the last day or so. I hadn't heard that line before. Of course, I get a very strange picture of the Chubb Fellow because I hear his jokes 14 times or so in the course of the week, and anybody would seem boring to me by Thursday afternoon of the Chubb Fellowship.
Do you think he could have been any more imaginative?
I think he fared pretty well in that realm. I don't know, since it's my first Chubb Fellow.
The Yale Daily News today had quite a long article, the burden of which was the students were very dissatisfied with Reagan.
Really?
I felt he had not come through. I don't know whether you've read that, but I wonder whether that was your experience.
Well, it's hard, you know.
Emphatic about it.
Yes, having so little sympathy with him, I of course bent over backward to try to be impressed with him as a person or something. Now, I heard from the members of one group who had Goldwater that Reagan was a much bigger hit. Now, that surprised me, because Goldwater always entertained me.
Well, I wasn't here for Mr. Goldwater. I did hear a few impressions of other people that saw both, and they liked Barry Goldwater very much. To be completely candid, the comments ran something like, Barry was friendly and lovable but dumb, where Mr. Reagan was slick but simple. And they considered him to be more dangerous, I think, as a result of that.
Reagan.
Sir, yesterday you had lunch with the political science faculty at Morris. One member of the faculty noted that, unlike other public figures at such meetings, you asked no questions or in any other way attempted to learn from these men. Does this mean that you are largely closed to learning, especially from academic experts?
Well, I don't know which member of the luncheon group that was, but I would think in all fairness he might also add that at no time was I free of questions that had been asked of me to answer, and as a guest I felt I should answer what was being asked. This has been a happy experience, and you know my joke about Frank Merriwell, I happen to be so old that it's true. When I was a small boy, I did read all the Frank Merriwell books, and that's why I've never yelled for Harvard. But I do. I want to thank you again. It's been provocative. It's been extremely interesting. And I have to tell you, Nancy and I have both talked about this since we've been here. Back when I was your age and sitting where you now sit, at least in the academic halls, not this particular one, I must say, we did not have your interest in the affairs of the world, nor did we have your fund of knowledge, your access to information about what's going on in the world, and you offer a very bright hope indeed for what's going to take place in the coming days. We need you very much out in that world. Thank you.